Welcome to SHOWOFF SHOWDOWN! In this series, the fighters are called SHOWOFFs, and this is the series for the SHOWOFF SHOWDOWN! Now let's meet the SHOWOFFs for tonight's showdown, shall we? Tonight, we have an epic, big, bad, destructive, radioactive, monstrous, rage-filled battle between the Incredible Hulk versus Godzilla! Once their monstrous rage has been unleashed, there's no turning back. By the way, the version of the Hulk we'll be using for this battle will be none other than Worldbreaker Hulk. I'll say this much, whoever wins, we lose. I put links to the analysis on both characters in the description below. Now without further ado, it's time for the SHOWOFF to Showdown!
Get ready for the next battle. Fight!
Whoa! To be honest, I don't know what was more awesome, the epic battle or all that collateral damage. Glad I don't have to pay for it.
Now in all seriousness, let's discuss how and why the Hulk wins this epic radioactive ultimate showdown. Now this battle won't be as easy to break down as the buildings that the Hulk and Godzilla have demolished in the past, but I will try to break this battle down one step at a time. Now for starters, let's discuss who is more skilled and experienced. I think we can safely agree that Godzilla has more experience as he is over 150 million years old and he has been crowned the king of monsters for well over 50 years. However, experience is not the same thing as skill nor intelligence. Despite Godzilla having 2 brains, he isn't exactly a genius nor an expert battle strategist. Now if there's anything worth mentioning for this category, it would be the fact that, believe it or not, Godzilla has actually once fought the Avengers in a real Marvel comic book series before. It's true, this actually happened. Now to be honest, I don't remember seeing the Hulk anywhere in these specific comics, but still definitely worth noting that Godzilla does have experience fighting Marvel superheroes in the past, which may or may not help him in this battle. Now some people might be thinking that the Hulk is technically smarter because he's actually Bruce Banner, who is one of the most intelligent people on Earth in the Marvel Universe. However, Bruce Banner and the Hulk are actually 2 completely different alter egos or split personalities together in one body. Besides, it doesn't really matter, because neither Godzilla nor the Hulk rely on their brains nor strategy or battle tactics while fighting, and they both mostly rely on their brute strength and raw power. So I think they should be relatively even in terms of close combat. Now let's discuss strength. Now this is no contest. The Hulk is easily stronger, no question. Now Godzilla has proven to be quite a strong powerhouse as well, being able to lift and throw monsters his own size if not larger, can lift up to about 15 million metric tons. And believe it or not, in the Godzilla Marvel comics I mentioned earlier, Godzilla has actually proven that he has the strength to match Thor, the mighty god of thunder. Well, obviously so does the Hulk of course, but still, that's pretty impressive. But of course, there's not anything that the Hulk can't handle. Now here's one of the big questions here. Can the Hulk lift Godzilla? To be honest, is this even a question? Let me put it to you this way. Godzilla weighs approximately 90,000 tons, while the Hulk has been shown lifting far heavier things on a regular basis, such as a 150 billion ton mountain for example, and that wasn't anywhere near his strongest feat. So I think it's safe to say that the Hulk is definitely more than strong enough to lift Godzilla. Not just lift him, but maybe also do all kinds of things such as flip him over and slam him on the ground repeatedly, grab him by the tail and spin or swing him around, and throw him very far distances, and more. Should I mention that the Hulk is also strong enough to bend and break pure adamantium, which is virtually indestructible? So I think it's clear who has the superior physical strength. Now let's discuss speed. Now as most of us know, Godzilla is known for being fairly slow and pretty clumsy. Although it is true that Godzilla has very good aim and firing accuracy, and his atomic breath most likely shoots faster than his body can move. Now on the other hand, the Hulk is pretty fast for someone his size. He can run at massively hypersonic speeds, can jump very far distances, has once jumped out of Earth's orbit in less than 0.1 seconds, and is even fast enough to catch Quicksilver. So I think it's safe to say that the Hulk does have the advantage in speed and agility. Now let's discuss their durability and healing factors. Now Godzilla and the Hulk both have an incredible regeneration ability. However, it takes time for Godzilla to heal depending on exactly how much damage he takes. While on the other hand, the Hulk can heal much faster than Godzilla can, and the Hulk's healing factor is one of the strongest in the entire Marvel Universe. Now what goes better with a healing factor than an incredible amount of durability? Now it is true that Godzilla has very impressive durability. Being durable enough to tank a meteorite to the face and even survive black holes is definitely worth noting. Although the Hulk has survived black holes as well, so there's that. Not only that, but I think most of us can agree that the Hulk has the superior durability, as he has taken far more devastating attacks and suffered far worse damage than Godzilla has. For example, when the Hulk fought Sentry, the Hulk was struck with the force of over 1,000 supernovas and survived. That's the equivalent of having like 1,000 exploding suns or hundreds of solar systems exploding on your face. And yet, the Hulk literally survived that without a scratch. This makes the Hulk so durable that he can tank pretty much everything that Godzilla has to throw at him. In fact, Godzilla's most powerful attack is known as the Red Spiral Ray, which is basically a more powerful version of Godzilla's atomic breath combined with Fire Rodan's uranium heat beam, which Godzilla has obtained after absorbing Fire Rodan's soul. And this attack can be upgraded into the Super Spiral Heat Ray, which is basically 3 times more powerful than the regular Red Spiral Ray. This super breath attack is hot enough to melt and evaporate the synthetic diamond alloy of Super Mecha Godzilla, and it was even powerful enough to destroy Space Godzilla, who is even more powerful than regular Godzilla. Now that's pretty powerful, but is Godzilla's Red Spiral Ray the equivalent of 1,000 supernovas? I think it's safe to say no, it's not. Not only that, but the Hulk is capable of absorbing very large amounts of radiation, which essentially makes all of Godzilla's nuclear attacks useless. Now, I know that there is a clear difference between nuclear radiation and gamma radiation. In fact, some of you are probably wondering, can Godzilla absorb gamma radiation just like the Hulk? Well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Mainly because gamma radiation is a fictional type of radiating energy that only exists in the Marvel Universe, as far as I'm aware. Although, like I said before, Godzilla has appeared inside a Marvel comic book series before, which means he was once inside the Marvel Universe. Also, Godzilla is capable of absorbing other different types of energy other than just nuclear radiation, such as electricity, plasma, solar energy, souls, life, and spiritual energy, and he even once absorbed an entire star into his body. Now, like I said, I'm not entirely sure if Godzilla is able to absorb gamma radiation or not, mainly because he has never done it. However, if Godzilla is capable of absorbing everything I mentioned earlier, then I think it's possible that Godzilla might be able to absorb gamma radiation. However, this probably won't even matter because Godzilla doesn't seem to have any known way of absorbing the energy from the Hulk's body, mainly because the Hulk usually keeps all of his gamma radiation inside his body and always fights with his raw strength and blunt force. Sure, the Hulk has his gamma wave, but he doesn't use that attack as often, and he doesn't release that much energy from it anyway. Anyway, while the Hulk keeps his radiation inside his body and mainly fights physically, on the other hand, Godzilla's main method of attack is the complete opposite. Most of the time, Godzilla is always releasing nuclear radiation from his body, mainly through his mouth, tail, and entire body. While Godzilla is perfectly capable of attacking with raw strength and physical force as well, it still won't matter because Godzilla's physical attacks are even less likely to take down the Hulk than his nuclear attacks, which aren't nearly enough to put down the Hulk in the first place. So while Godzilla may be able to hurt the Hulk, he just doesn't have nearly enough strength nor firepower to kill the Hulk. And I think it's safe to say that all that Godzilla can do is enrage the Hulk, which is a very bad thing because you won't like the Hulk when he's angry. Remember, the angrier the Hulk gets, the stronger he gets. Now some people are probably thinking, couldn't Godzilla just swallow the Hulk? Well, no offense to whoever thought that, but that is a terrible idea, because swallowing the Hulk would essentially be a death wish, not for the Hulk, but for Godzilla. Because because while the outside of Godzilla's body is very tough and durable, the inside of Godzilla's body is actually very soft and vulnerable. So if Godzilla attempts to swallow the Hulk, then the Hulk will most likely rip Godzilla's stomach open from the inside and then start crushing and tearing apart his internal organs, including his heart, lungs, liver, etc. And once the Hulk is done doing that, he'll most likely just rip his way out of Godzilla's body, which would be a lot more painful than it sounds. So swallowing the Hulk, bad idea. Now, some of you are probably thinking that the only way to kill Godzilla is to destroy every single cell in his body. Well, actually, that's not 100% true. Believe it or not, Godzilla has actually died at least 4 separate times, and there is more than one way to kill Godzilla, and some of those ways actually don't require destroying every cell in his body. Now exactly what are these weaknesses, you may ask? Well, allow me to list a few of them right here. As you could tell, most of these fatal weaknesses listed here don't require destroying all of Godzilla's cells. Now you're probably thinking that the Hulk wouldn't be able to do most of these things. Well, you're mostly right. Now while most of these things the Hulk isn't capable of doing, there is at least one thing on this list that the Hulk is capable of doing, and that would be this one. Believe it or not, Godzilla actually has a second brain in his spine near the waist which controls his movement. If this brain gets disconnected or destroyed, it will paralyze or even kill Godzilla. I think it's safe to say that this should be no different from the main brain in Godzilla's head, which is most likely the more important brain of the two. Remember, the brain is arguably the most important organ in the body. The brain is what controls every other organ in the body, including the heart, lungs, stomach, kidneys, reproductive organs, etc. If the brain gets permanently disconnected from the rest of the body, then the entire body will no longer function. So therefore, if either one of Godzilla's brains gets destroyed or disconnected from the rest of his body, then Godzilla's body will become paralyzed, shut down, and essentially dead. Now exactly how is the Hulk going to do this, you may ask? Well, I think the answer might be simple enough. What better way for the Hulk to finish off a tough opponent than by ripping his head off? If the Hulk eventually decides to finish off Godzilla by ripping off his head, then Godzilla's brain will become permanently disconnected from the rest of his body will shut down, and while Godzilla might not die instantly, as some animals can technically stay alive for a little longer after losing their head, literally, but either way, Godzilla will be dead within seconds. That is unless the Hulk decides to finish him off instantly by crushing Godzilla's head or tossing it really far into the solar system, never to return to Earth. So therefore, the Hulk does have a way to physically kill Godzilla without the need to destroy every cell in his body. Now before we wrap up this episode, the last thing I'd like to discuss is the maximum levels of power for both characters. Now believe it or not, Godzilla's level of power has actually been estimated to be somewhere between city to solar system level, as Godzilla has not only defeated Space Godzilla, but has also destroyed planetoids and singularities and can survive black holes. While on the other hand, the Hulk's level of strength and power has currently been estimated to be somewhere between star and galaxy level. Not only that, but believe it or not, the Hulk has even achieved universal level feats. For example, when the Hulk fought the Nameless One, their battle destroyed the entire universe that they were standing in, and the Hulk has even thunderclapped an entire time barrier. I think it's safe to say that these two feats alone easily far outclass anything that Godzilla has ever done. Now if anything, the only thing that Godzilla has that might be considered even a remote threat to the Hulk would most likely be Godzilla's strongest and most powerful form, known as Super Godzilla. Godzilla achieved this form by finding 3 capsules of Super S energy, and this form was said to be 2,000 times stronger and more powerful than base form Godzilla. So the full power of Super Godzilla has been estimated to be roughly at multi-solar system level. Now that's just incredible. However, Godzilla would need to search and find 3 capsules of Super S energy in order to use this form, which Godzilla won't have a chance to do while fighting the Hulk unless he has prep time. However, even if Godzilla did have prep time, and he did have what he needs to achieve his super form, it still wouldn't matter, because once again, the Hulk has 2 achieved multi-solar system level feats, and even universal level feats of strength and power. So it wouldn't really make much of a difference, and it wouldn't really matter either way. Besides, this battle doesn't have prep time, so Godzilla wouldn't be able to use his super form anyway. Okay, I think I've finally discussed all the important details I need to discuss on how and why the Hulk wins this epic showdown. With the Hulk having the advantages in pretty much every category, I think it's clear who comes out on top. So in the end, the King of Monsters has been dethroned. The winner of this battle is the Incredible Hulk. Oh, and by the way, I want to give a special thanks to the animator of this battle, Butter Samurai. So if you like what you see, then go check out his channel and subscribe.
Got any ideas for Show-Off Showdown? Then let me know in the comments below, and hopefully, I just might do them. Now stay tuned for the next episode of Show-Off Showdown!